What's up, guys? We are live here on the Lean and Mean Academy and a few other places. I want to welcome you back to the channel. I haven't seen you guys in a good minute. I ain't been down. I just been hiding, if you will, as Cody as Cody Arbor would say. You know, sometimes you got to just get focused in on what matters. Got my boy Cody Yarbrough here on the line. What's up, my dog?
What it do, man? We just got back from the beach a few hours ago. Had a good trip down there, and decided we'd do us a late night live. So it's gonna be a good one, I think. We'll see.
Tonight we're talking about don't be afraid of the dark side energy. Cody sent me this topic earlier tonight, and as some of you guys know on the channel, I've been through my share of dark sides. I think some of you guys have too. If you've lived any life, you definitely have. How you get out of them is a testament to your strength, to your perseverance. But one thing I've learned, Cody, we were brushing up on this before the live, is sometimes you got to embrace the dark side energy. You got to know when to separate it, but there is a time for dark side energy, and that's what we're talking about tonight. It's probably going to be a little bit different than what the youth group talked about a little bit, but we tend to lean this direction.
Yeah.
Cody, before we jump into this, we have an event coming up, the last one of the year, Serious Starter Bootcamp coming up. We sell every single one of them out. We've been doing this for a couple years now. Big event, September 20th and 21st. I'll put it right down here on the banner. You go to southeastsoftwash.com, click training. You can get the tickets. I know we've sold a big stack of them. There are a few left. Tell us about what's going to happen at Serious Starter.
Man, I love Serious Starter events. It's when we first started doing them, it's like, it's one more thing. We got to remember, we got to do that, this month whenever we would do them. But it's really turned into my favorite thing to do because we always have a great group there. Like you said, I think this will be number 8 or 9. We have sold out every single one of them. And it's always like a really good class. Last class was really great. And we cover a whole gamut of training. So the first day is soft wash, nuts and bolts. We're going to talk equipment. We're going to talk plant and property protection and not burning up somebody's house. We're going to talk ratios, specialty chems, packages, upsells. We're going to go out in the field and wash something. We'll wash a little bit. Usually try to go out unless it's some bad weather or something. It's a full day. And then we feed you as well both days. So we go to 2 different restaurants Friday and Saturday and feed you. And then Saturday we come back and we're just basically stay in the classroom all day Saturday with Aaron's side of the house. And that's a whole, you have to like delete your brain, and then you're going to learn a bunch of stuff that you're not even aware. We don't talk about what you're going to really learn on Aaron's a day here much. We don't go into detail because you wouldn't know what the hell we talk about, but it's very powerful marketing. You want to tell them a little bit about it?
Yeah. I mean, we just a testament. We've had a lot of guys come through, and we've had a solid, I mean, just like solid group of superstars who came through this event. I mean, we can name them on probably 4 hands at this point, of just guys who are doing either multiple 6 figures or even 7 figures a year in their business who have come through the Serious Starter. I can tell you a little bit about my day. I mean, I'm a marketing guy. I think that's a light way of putting what I do. A lot of people don't know what I do, Cody. I don't know. Maybe one day I should have to do like a documentary on what I've done and what I do. I don't really talk about it a lot. I'm a marketing guy. I'm really good at getting traffic, getting eyeballs to.
No, that's not doing that justice.
I'm not good at selling myself.
We just had a meeting a couple days ago, a Zoom meeting. I ain't going to give you no details, but a guy, all right, this is a vetted guy. And we were just like, hey, this is what we've done with this one little thing. Is mostly this guy right here, 99% error. You're like, we don't know. We ain't got no point of reference. We don't know. And the dude was like, well, I'll be damned. He said, I've been doing this a long time. He was like, it's some wild shit. It's some wild numbers. So marketing extraordinaire. It's nuance, baby. It's a lot to it.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm going to go into Google for you guys and really decipher that, give you a lot of, I like to simplify it just to the things that work. Okay. And things, step by step, what you need to do, ABC. Once I talk to you about it, it's going to be very simple, but you can get really lost in the weeds with Google, and you can waste a lot of time doing things that don't matter.
Yeah.
I run an 8-figure company on the marketing end. I'm the CMO of an 8-figure company. Okay. I did this for my wash company. Done products, done a lot of stuff in this world as far as penetrating the market, getting eyeballs. And that's what I am a Jedi at. And
That's
so
$1 million a month, just in case you're wondering.
go write that in the notes. Go write that in the notes.
Go get a little pen. Yeah, get that ready right there and write that one down in the book.
A lot of people don't want it to be that way, but a lot of people in our industry, they take what I've done and they just try to spin it and repurpose it as theirs. That's what they do. We can talk more about that on a different live, but that live is coming. That live is coming.
That's a Ticonderoga class.
That's a Bismarck.
It's out there in the Bay. You just don't know it.
He just limping in a circle to the left, you know, who can hit him first. But you know, that is some of that dark side energy. I think dark side energy, Cody, motivates me a lot. I feel like sometimes I've grown a little bit, you know. I'm 36 now, and I went through a lot, as a lot of guys know on the channel, through divorce and stuff. A lot of that is very dark energy. I probably lost all my hair from that. I think about this sometimes. How did I lose all my hair? It's probably divorce, you know, the stress of that, the framing of that, but how to harness that, man, was something that I did learn, actually, how to make it into something productive. And I think that's what you're talking about when you sent me this title, is how do you make dark side energy produce for you, because you're going to run into it either way in the world. You're not avoiding dark energy.
Yeah. I got a you know, we could put it on screen, or we could do it the redneck way and hold the phone up. Brian, my general manager, will appreciate this live because he is a Star Wars nut. And I do like it. I like a little sci-fi every once in a while. But yeah, that's, you know, most guys that are getting into business, any business, whether it's pressure washing or anything else, you're probably not just life is great. Life is great. You're not crushing it at your job with 6 weeks of PTO. You're not like making $450,000 a year and deciding to get into pressure washing or lawn care or whatever it is. So I'd say 99 out of 100 do. I'd be willing to put $100 bill on it that you're having to even the only reason you're here watching this or anything else related is because you're in a crappy place and you're trying to leave that place. And so that comes inherently. We're all either pain or pleasure motivated, and pain is way more of a motivator than pleasure is. That's really the only two you got. And they both do work, but if you take any sales training, you'll learn that if you can articulate the pain, most of the time that's the trigger for people to move more than the pleasure side of the house. And both can work, but that's what we're really talking about here. In today's postmodern era, there's a lot of talk and chatter out there about the power of positive bullshit. And that's just what it is. It's compelled bullshit. Yeah, that's my best Jordan Peterson. But
that was good. That was good.
It's not bad. It's not bad. You do a good one too. But yeah, a lot, you know, everybody's all talking about positive. And you know what? It's great. But I didn't start in like a god awful position. I started from a position of meh. 2018, when left my job, had a little I'm talking about like $8,000. So $8,000, and that's where we started from. And I knew how to actually wash because I had been doing it for Dad invented roof cleaning. So you can't tell me shit. You can go, hell, can't tell me shit. So, but it still wasn't like a positive. It wasn't light side energy. It was a whole lot of work, you know, 4 or 5 times the amount of work you thought it was going to be. So whatever you think it's going to be, you're going to put your multiplier on there. All right. And you got all these sons of bitches coming out. Are you sure that's a good idea? What about the health insurance? What about the benefits down there at the plant? And fuck, man, it's just endless. Nobody believes in you. You got your family that may not articulate it, but it's a vibe that they they put off. You know, I still get that shit now, and I make $1 million a month. I still get that. Like, I was listening to Dave Ramsey when we were driving home today, and it was an old episode, and he was like, "You know, Dave Ramsey's worth probably $700 or $800 million."
Yeah,
he was like, just a few years ago, one of his extended relatives, and just an elderly lady, she was like, "David, when are you gonna get yourself a real job?" It was like, if you was anything but a little old lady, probably gonna catch them hands. But that's just how people think, you know, and you have a choice with all of that initial startup mode of negativity and it can come in a lot of forms. Like I said, people around you giving you bad vibes. It can be your bank account, you know, losing jobs. It can be, it rained for 5 days and I couldn't work, or it could be, we see this a lot because we're an equipment company, but some mechanical part tears up. It could be your truck, right? And you're going to cuss the truck for the next year. Or it could be as stupid as a 12-volt pump that's, you know, you probably killed it, but you can't say that because that would take accountability unless you're like a really rare cat. And so it's all negative energy. And here's what people say in the modern era: power positive thinking, focus on the positive. Well, hell, what if ain't no positive? What if there ain't any? And that's one of the things I love about your story, is because it don't really get any more negative than your story. You want to talk about some negative energy? So give me a little summary about the negative there.
Dude, it was such a blessing, right? I had about $500 in my little Regions bank account. I was a touring musician, and every show you play, you know, I had a record deal on the table with Sony Records, blah, blah, blah. Go down the, you know, I was with CAA, big agency here. I was a published songwriter. I was paid to write songs. Okay. So I had like an A-list team, right? I wasn't just faking it out here and poor. But the problem is as a musician, you are poor until you're rich. There's like no middle window. You know, you get a hit and that check hits, bro. And that check is for, you know, 300,000, the first check. And then if you keep writing hits, they keep coming. But until that point, you have no money. Well, I got served divorce papers with that $500 in my account. And my attorney at the time, she said, well, it'll be $5,000 to start this divorce. And I was like, $5,000. Oh, and little did I know it would be about 400 and some odd thousand towards the end of it, 6 years later. But yeah, I think it was a blessing for me, the dark energy there, because it made me grow up. It made me become very resourceful. And I think you have to make a decision. You have to either spiral up or you spiral down into alcoholism, into drugs, into suicidal. I'm not, you know, you ain't gonna beat me. Okay, you're gonna have to kill me to beat me. That's how Parkers are. That's how we are as a family. Like, you're gonna have to kill us. All right. So all that other stuff, alcoholism, I don't go into excuse land. I do not care, not interested. My dad told me, he said, you'll be a lot happier if you have a stack of hundreds in your pocket, Aaron. And that was him telling me, like, go to work. Like, let's figure this out. You know, quit sulking. There's a time for sulk that's about a couple days, but after that, you got to get to work.
The days, if you go and look at any business channel, I'm gonna show you guys this. I sent it to Aaron. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Let me see. It's not too far back. We text all the time, but I sent him this a couple days ago. Here, this is good. This is good. Goes right along with our topic. Let me wipe the grease off of it from the side of my Scottish head. All right, y'all see this? See this thumbnail here? I don't know who the hell this channel is. It's just some random channel. He got 241,000. So he's doing something. And I don't even remember what the thing was. It just popped up in my feed. And he's got some little garage set up, and he makes like, it was some kind of like craft glue. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Great example.
Yeah.
Because it ain't got shit to do with us. So it's a good example. All right. And that's his thumbnail right there. And no, it was like a couple seconds into the video, but I paused it and that was the top comment. Step 1, make enough money to own a garage. Because he's talking about this little thing makes $1 million. Listen, if you're a millennial, listen to me. Stop that shit. All the rest of us ain't really about tired hearing that shit. Here's a thing that makes you you're just giving like a legitimate little It's like a little thing he bought, one of $700. And the first thought popped into the guy's head was how I can't win.
Yeah.
Well, I can't because I don't have a garage. And then that comment had comments under it like, I know, man, all these guys make it seem so easy. It's like, no, it's not. It is. It is. Okay, I'm just going to say it. It is easy. It is easy. It could be 1850 and you could have on a pair of overalls looking at the ass end of a mule plowing a field. You got
Oregon
the
Trail ass. Oregon Trail.
you got the internet, bro. Like,
you ain't never had swamp ass till you've been on the Oregon Trail.
dude, people in the poverty level in America are still way richer than people in the upper levels. Like the average dude here making 55K lives better than Pharaoh lived.
Yeah.
And you're still trying to figure out how the game's rigged. The rich get richer and poor get poorer. Well, look, just take all that negative energy. Here's what you do. Embrace the negative energy, because a lot of people are in a negative place and it's okay. Here's what ain't going to help. Acting like it's all roses when it ain't. Like all that positive thinking, that's pretty much bullshit. Now I get what it's trying to do, but just be a realist. Be like, look, my situation sucks. I hate my job, right? I hated my job because I worked nights. I hated my job because I was away from the family. It wasn't really a money thing. I made decent money. I had no idea I could make what I make now in my life, but that wasn't the motivator. It was, my kids are already adopted. I missed the first 2 years of their life. I missed the first 8 years of Alyssa's life. So I am already behind because of our unique family situation, and I'm never at home, which is kind of common. So I wanted to be at home more, and that was negative energy. But then the weird thing is, when you start the business, you're just creating more negative energy. There is light out there, but it's going to take a long fucking time before you get to any positive breadcrumbs. Like most businesses, what's that statistic that most businesses don't make a profit? What is that? First, was it
I mean, it's probably up to 5 years or something. Yeah. Like, I don't know. It used to be 5 years. I know.
Yeah. Inflation now, it's probably.
It's a restaurant. That's probably for sure. A restaurant in New York City. Shit. The restaurant operating on 15% margins. Like, cause with that rent, like, yeah, man, there's a lot of brick and mortar businesses that don't make a profit. Of course, they pay the salaries to their owners and stuff, but I'm talking about the company making an actual profit. It doesn't, and so for me, I think, Cody, that if it's not the positive thinking that really motivates me anymore, because I've read all those books, man. I've read hundreds of books. I started at 19 reading those Zig Ziglar type books, and it's great. If you have not read those, you should.
Yeah.
Okay. You should absolutely dive into it. And I'm not above it. Like, I still have a running book. I have multiple books around the house that I'm reading at the same time, because I'm probably attention deficit. But if I get bored of it, I get out of it. But for me, I think it's not positive thinking, because that very much sounds like rainbows and flowers and, like you're lulling yourself to sleep with bullshit. For me, it's definiteness of purpose.
Yeah.
Like, that's what the positive end of it is like, I knew I was down and out. I knew that, dude, people, when I was playing guitar on video early on, people would think, they were like, how'd you get that reverb sound, dude? You remember this?
Yeah.
It was because I had no furniture in the house. That's why the reverb sounded that way. It was echoing off the wood floors in the house. There was nothing. I was sitting on like a camp chair, and I had a music stand with my iPhone set into the little thing of the music stand, but it was like this definiteness of purpose, this burning desire that you will not beat me. Like, and I had to direct it somewhere. I believe you need something or someone, whether it's, an ex or a competition or something, you need something to shoot at.
Yeah.
Something to go after as far as an enemy. I think that's natural within men. I think we've lost it in 2024. And I think that's why so many dudes are in depression, is because they don't allow themselves to channel some sort of enemy, whether it is like maybe the enemy is your own stupid ass poverty mindset. Like that can be some introspection that you get. You know, why do I allow my old thinking from my childhood as far as Southern Alabama? Why do I allow it to keep creeping in? Well, make that thought process the enemy. Make and be aware of it. If you can make yourself aware of the thinking problem you have, I'm telling you, you'll free yourself, because every time one of those thoughts creep in, you'll start to notice that that is Satan. That's what that is. It is the lack creeping back in. So that is the dark energy. If you can learn how to control it, and you can learn how to be definite in your purpose, you'll see when the dark energy creeps in. You get the flat tire on your trailer, you're going to a job. You know what you got to do? You got to call the customer and say, hey, I'm going to try to make it, but I may have to book you back. I may have to put you back in the week because I got a flat tire. Oh, and you're scared the customer is going to say, no, don't worry, we don't want to do the job anymore. And they might. They could, but most of the time they don't.
You just have to keep pushing through, because
roll with it.
The storyline needs a villain. Like, it don't. If Superman ain't got no Zod to whoop his ass, it don't go nowhere. Okay, like it's part of the story. It's the good part, and you just got to be either dumb enough or too stubborn to give up, and you just keep pushing through it. That's why we have a saying that year 2 hits different, because usually in year 2 you'll start figuring some things out. You got some traction. You got a little cash reserves to get you through the bumps, right? The point isn't to live in the negative forever, okay? Because that's how you get ulcers and you die. But you don't want to just ignore the negative, and you need to learn how to feed off of the best users of the Force in the Star Wars universe. They can use both sides. They can use the negative. What happens is they don't let the negative. A true master business person does not let the negative crush them. They don't let their highs get too high, and they don't let their lows get too low. They just plane out right there in the middle. And what they're doing is when they have big wins, and we have big wins, sometimes we have big multiple 6-figure wins at a time. Okay. Those are big highs, but we have big lows too. We have big lows. The higher it can go, the lower it can go. And so if I'm too gravitational to one side or the other, then I'm going to be unbalanced. If I'm only living for the positive, well, I'm going to be depressed and down out of singing the blues most of my life. And I'm going to fold the business up and sell the equipment off, because here's what those people will say. Well, that business just don't work. No, it didn't work for you because you didn't make it work. Correct. Year 2 hits different if you put in the work. Or you could be a narf and you could repeat year 1 for 7 years. Yeah. You could be 7 years into it and still be in year 1, in a year 1 mindset. So having the ability to harness the negative energy, not let it get you down, and understand that it's just part of the script. I've said things like this before in events, and I've seen people's face reaction. I've said it on camera, and I've seen the comments. The competition is an enemy. Okay. And that is a basic concept of business. And more than one time, I've had people react and say, well, no, all me and my competitors in my area, we're friends. The hell you are. You better be trying to kill that dude ever chance you get. I'm gonna be nice to everybody and have a plan to kill everybody in the room. Like I don't know where you got that shit at. Okay. But I've said it a bunch of times, and I've seen it a bunch of, no, you ain't got to be like that. There's plenty I understand what you're saying, abundance mindset, but I'm talking about your direct competitor. I'm going to kill you. And it's not personal. I think people, they take that and they put it through their Sunday school brain, and they're like, well, that's not nice. Dang, I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the dude himself. If something happened to him, I'd be like devastated and send him some money, right? Hope y'all get back on your feet. But when we put the business hat on, see, that's a helmet. Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna kill you. And I expect you to try to kill me.
Yep.
because that is how the free market works. I am such a diehard. You had to cut my heart out and kill it, stomp on it to get me to believe that the free market does not work. We went to a restaurant Wednesday or Thursday while we were in Orange Beach, Alabama. Dan Wright, if you watch this, you'll know a restaurant. It's called Doc's. We've ate there a bunch of times, and it's pretty good. It's just right there on the strip. Pretty good. About as good as any of the rest of them. We go in. It's like middle of the day. There's nobody down there. It's after Labor Day, right? So everybody's gone home. Basically, the beach was very, very sparse. So all the restaurants, no waits. We go in. I'm a big tipper. I usually tip $100 bill everywhere I go. If I'm out, like in a real restaurant, we go in, they seat us, nobody comes out. We sit there a few minutes. I look around. There's 3 tables seated in the restaurant. There's an old dude over there, a couple, and us. And then I counted. There were 9 employees. There was a guy sitting over there on his phone. There was a chick over there on her phone. There was 2 people over there talking. There was another group of dudes over there from the kitchen talking. And there was another guy farther away. He was on his phone. So there was like 8 or 9 employees. So their employee to customer ratio was like crazy. And we sat there about 10 minutes and I said, get up. And we go into the Lexus and we go on some to hell where else. And as we're walking out, I looked at the girl on her phone. I said, you probably ought to get off your damn phone. And she said, that's so rude. I'm like, well, take your ghetto knob and just turn it back down. Because, see, your check you think just comes out of thin air, but it comes from the owner of this restaurant being able to pay your ass. And he can't do that if you don't have a level of service. That's the free market dictating. If they keep doing that, they're going to drop off and they'll be closed and somebody else will buy that building. We went a half a mile down the road and got excellent service, probably the same grade of food, but the service was much better. Chick got $100 tip. We were happy. And if that restaurant keeps doing that, it will succeed. That's dark side energy and light side energy. You can't keep dwelling in it, but what good is it going to do if you don't? If that dude, if I was a Karen and left him a 1-star, right? You got to be objective enough to go and say, damn, we messed that up. We need to do better. Sometimes the customer just crazy sell and you don't have to worry about it. And you're like, no, they just crazy sell. That is sometimes does happen, but you have to be objective enough to see that and be able to pivot where you need to be depending on the day. Sometimes a business owner is one of the only people who can go from pure exhilaration to panic to paranoia back to ecstasy back to panic again, like all within a 24-hour period. So one of the biggest mind hacks for you guys is to understand that there's going to be more negative than good. You're going to think about it in baseball. If you what's a good batting average?
400.
How much?
400 is a great batting average.
400? I don't know shit about sports, mostly because I'm rich.
Yeah, if you hit 4 out of 10, if you hit, you
so
play
you
MLB.
lose it 60% of the time.
Yep.
And that's great. Like, you're a Hall of Fame guy. So there's going to be more losses than wins by default. But you can't let those negative moments, that dark side energy, you got to not learn to ignore it. Learn to grab it. Pull it to you. Harness it. It keeps you warm at night. It gives you a reason to get up the next morning and win. I hate losing more than I like winning. I don't like to lose. I do not do losing. I don't appreciate losing now. Now I like to win. I do like to win, but man, I hate to lose. It's not fun. You take all that dark side energy, you stack it up, you run on it, you get your eyebrows down. See, like that.
Like a little Lego man.
Yeah, you like that little wasp.
A little furrowed. That wasp. You got them.
You just mad as hell for about 3 years. All right. And then you just look up one day. This is what'll happen. You'll look up one day and it'll be a whole lot of positives. There'll be a lot of positives. You take that, you turn it into a big ass chip, you put it right there. And you just walk around like you got something to prove. Well, do you think you got something to prove? You're damn right I got something to prove.
That's right.
Look, I'm trying to prove something worse than Steven Seagal on his 3rd take of Under Siege. I don't care how much we won. We still coming. We're going to make a point. You're going to know we were there.
That's
At the
right.
very least, you're going to know we were there.
I told
So
Cody I walk around with a satchel of RPG shells on my back. Just
all the time.
you got to be that way, man. You got to be able to tap into that. I think I'm just now kind of coming out of that. Honestly, dude, it'll make you into something that I don't feel right when I'm not working, and sometimes now that I've delegated well enough to where a lot of this stuff runs on its own.
Yeah.
And I'm like Pablo Escobar out in the yard, like looking into the distance with my hands in my pocket. I'm like, no, you've invented a valve and a pump and a bunch of other shit and bequeathed a bunch of skills to some ungrateful bastards. And it's like now what's the next thing? And so I don't want to lose that edge. I have to now we have to watch it, right? You have to police it, because there was a natural dark energy whenever you were working at the night shift, right? There was a natural inset dark energy when I was in court every other week, about some horse shit, right? Now it's like, oh, you got to kind of start to manufacture it,
Yeah.
right? You got to start to find that hunger again. And I think you find it in different places. I find it in creating things,
Yeah.
making things better than other people do. I love doing that. I find that negative energy and that positive energy as well in creating something, but making it better, and marketing it better, presenting it better, writing the copy better, persuading better, right? That's guys, if you just use that formula in your business,
It
where
works.
it just works. Okay. If you provide a better service, you price it better, you
It'll work.
market it better, you give a better guarantee, a better promise, and you just do what you say you're going to do. I promise you, whatever hard time you're in right now, it will go away and your life will get immensely better. Okay. But it's a lot of looking in the mirror every single day, because you're the problem. Okay. And you're also the solution, but you are the problem.
It's the best side of it. It's the good and the bad. I was watching some guy. I haven't really watched much of his channel, but YouTube knows I've clicked on a couple of videos. He's one of these guys. He's a CEO guy. He's probably right there now. If I scrolled, I'd find him. But he did say a good thing, and he was talking about different levels of business. At the level I'm at of business, if it takes me more than 5 or 6 hours a week to do what I do, that means I failed, because I've grown to $1 million a month plus business. And at that level, you should have people in place, because if I'm still tired at this point, that means I have built an unsustainable product. I've built an unsustainable organism that I can't walk away from if I wanted to. Now, and that's the trick, because you've wired yourself to run, right? But at the same time, you should have been building a self-running treadmill. And if you do it right, and I did, hell, I did. Like I don't go shop. Hell, I just go up there because I'm getting bored and I'm gonna go up there and make sure they ain't burning my building down. But you get in that, it now becomes your identity. And so you did it because you had to. And if you were smart enough to put yourself out of a job, basically, well, now it runs itself more or less. And that's how you get in your wash business. You start and grow, if you want to go that route, unless you want to stay lean and mean, that's enough. It just depends on how you want to do it. But at that point, your identity is now tied to being wore out.
Right.
And there's nothing romantic about that. So what you can do, the beauty is you have now options. You can take your same who you are. You can let that one go on autopilot, right? Boop, boop. And you can start another one. Boop.
Yep.
Fresh boom. Now that's fun, because now you got one asset flowing, right? Yeah, go check on it. It's fine. But it'll run pretty much, right? You go over there, you listen to it, you poke around on it a little bit, go on, leave it. See, at this point, you actually do more harm by being over there, because you fucking around. See,
Yeah.
you fixing shit ain't broke. It just doing what it's doing. You trying to squeeze more out of something that you done squeezed it. It's let it go. It's fine. But it's hard sometimes to do that with guys that are kind of that level, like that, 4 truck level for you guys. That's kind of the 3 to 5 truck level. Like at some point you're gonna have to decide, like, what do you want to do? Do you want to be on the truck? Because that's fine. But you can get romantic about any of it. You can get romantic about being out there because it is visually, you can see what you did, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's the smartest thing. Because if you're example, and I'm not planning an exit, but I'm just saying, if you were planning to sell your company one day and you never thought to build yourself out, well, now your company's valuation can be millions of dollars less because you can't leave.
Right.
It would take 18 months to figure out how to replace you.
Yeah.
And that messes the whole deal up. So that cost you $6 million. It could be something like that. So figuring out the energy that's basically, I want to run on whatever the universe is giving me right now. If it's negative, I take it, we can run on it. If it's positive, I take it, and it's great either way. I'll give you an example without mentioning a competitor. Last night, I was sitting there. We's kindly starting to pack up stuff down there at the beach, and I had called Aaron, and I said, "Aaron, are you sitting down?" And now I want you to know, 3 years ago, I finally got a 2-year-long project out the door. We launched it 3 years ago in August. August was the third anniversary of the Smart Blend Pro. Really cool system. Patent pending. We haven't really been pursuing that patent. We just filed some other patents last week. I got to sign some papers tomorrow and email them or send them back to the lawyer for another patent. But this is a product that we put out there. We're the only ones that have anything like it, and it's remote control metering. And without getting into the details, somebody popped up on my feed that said, "This is game changing, revolutionary." And I said, genuinely, I was like, well, somebody finally made something to compete with the whole Smart Blend. And it honestly didn't bother me. I was like, I don't give a damn. I'm going to sell. It don't matter. Like, I don't care. It actually be kind of neat. Somebody made something else. I clicked that video, and this human has taken a plastic alligator, grabbed it. Okay. And they have made, I won't give the guy no publicity because now he's my competitor and I got to kill him. A fucking alligator that pinches the hose on a bleach line corresponding to a press of a button on a remote inside of a Milwaukee pack-out box. Now, look, I ain't shitting on him. I'm just shitting on it, all right? Because he's a competitor, and we're supposed to do what? We're supposed to kill them. It ain't personal, but a guy looked like a crackhead. The man has put an alligator inside of a box to smash down on a hose. If any of y'all ever try to tell me some shit again while you in them comments saying, well, that's cool, it ain't fucking cool. It's an alligator from a souvenir shop, and it bites down on a. If you ever tell me some shit again, I swear I'm gonna mail you a taquito in the mail. I'm gonna do it. Look, it's funny to me. It was positive energy. I thought when I clicked into that video that I was gonna have to check myself to not get aggravated that somebody'd made a, oh damn, now there's somebody else making. And when I got into it, I was like, this is hilarious. Like, are they trolling? Is this real product or is this guy? And I laughed so damn hard. I ain't laughed that hard in a long time. It was positive energy because I was like, okay, that's dumb. That's about the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. The man that's in question that's making this, bless his heart, he calls bleach NaCio because that's the chemical name for sodium. It's NaCl, whatever. He calls bleach NaCio. I laughed my ass. I called Aaron. I'm about to bust a kid. I laughed. It's positive. What I'm saying is, I thought it was going to be negative energy. I was like, fuck, somebody's made some. And it turned out to be hilarious. And I'm going to run on that for about 2 days. I'm going to laugh about it 5 or 6 more times. And then it'll be gone. And there'll be something else will come down the pipe. But you're going to get them. Guys, here's your version of it, right? You're driving down the road. Who is that? Who is that? Hey, who the hell is that? Says Larry's Power. What? That son of a bitch.
I told you it was saturated. I told you.
It's gonna happen. It ain't the universe ain't picking on you, and it ain't that you hate Larry. It's that you ain't confident enough in you. That's what it is. It's negative energy that's just part of who. It's really more about who you are. There's going to be times when you see your competitor have a big flop, and you know what you should do? You shouldn't go pray for him. You should say, that's what you should say. This is not, don't try to Jesus it up. Just quit it. Stop trying to sprinkle fucking magic Jesus dust on everything. If your competitor hits a big bump in the road and it knocks the transmission out of them, you're supposed to look in the rearview mirror and say, that's what you're supposed to do. So do that shit. Don't try to, well, I went over and helped him out. You're a dumbass. The universe is giving you a gift and you're like, no, I don't want it. Because I promise you, when you hit a bump in the road,
you damn right.
Everybody is going to go,
oh, yeah.
In the mirror.
Yep.
It's going to happen.
And that same guy you helped is going to do that exact thing. Let me tell you. I think, Cody, we're just upfront and honest about it.
It's just too much honesty
it's
for
too
that.
much honesty.
You
Because
know
they all about that. They all saying, hey, hey, hey. But they're all going, no, we love each other. Oh, I love him. I love him. The hell you do. Uh-huh. I could see right through the horse shit now. I'm talking
about personal.
But that's why, I ain't made a video in probably 2 months because most of this is horse shit. Okay.
It's horse shit.
It's a lot of that's why I don't broadcast no ideas anymore because the bastards will steal them. Okay. I'm a moat and Cayman kind of guy. See, I don't talk about it until I'm about about 5-10 miles down the road, way too far to catch up with me. Then I'll talk about it. See, that's what we do that with all of our stuff though. Like we never talked about some of that stuff.
No.
We said we might have something coming, but we release shit that they ain't never seen in their damn life. They didn't think we would pull that stuff off and it'd be dope and it'd be awesome. Right? No, it's like because of that negative energy, because I've experienced so much of that, you don't go out there just broadcasting your ideas. No. You see, they will take them. And if they can make them, they will. And if they can make them, that might be a symbol that you're not that innovative.
Correct. Right? That is what that means. It's not personal. It's not personal when I beat them, and it ain't personal when they beat me.
Correct.
I've got a few actual competitors in this industry.
Very few.
Respect them.
Very few. And we actually like those guys.
If I'm near them, I will call them and say, hey, let's go out to eat. I like these humans is what I'm saying.
Right.
But when dinner's over, come for that ass. Okay. Because if you roll some weak ass shit out at the grande, you best bet I'm going to laugh at your ass. Now, I would laugh at you publicly, except it would give you promotions. I can't do that. That's the only reason I don't laugh at you publicly, because you pump weak as hell. All right. And you might make a little jab or two, and I'll make a little jab or two here and there. But I still respect them as people because they are at least worthy to come into the gladiator ring with me. That's how I view it. Absolutely. Some of these little dumb bastards. Look, let me just tell you, if you slap a sticker on the side of some shit you built out of a catalog and you think you're competing with me, it offends me that you thought that you were going to step to me. You don't step to me, not in business. You don't step to me in business.
Well, the wild thing is like, if that's all it is, don't they know we could buy every one of them and just snap stickers?
When I say that, if you don't know me and you don't listen long enough, you think that that guy's just really cocky. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is if I did the exact same thing, if that's what we had done,
right?
If we took 2.5 years almost and nearly $1 million budget, and we just said, no, we ain't going to do it that way. Let's spend 1/10 of that, if that, and about 6 months of fucking around in a catalog, and we'll make a pump, and we'll see. We need a Honda engine. The plate, I already got that. We got the Honda motor. We got the pump that's in the catalog right there. Check. We got belts and pulleys. Okay, those are on McMaster car. We're going to need a solenoid and a relay. If we'd have done that and then slapped a sticker on the side of it, and put it out in the market, the first Guatemalan that copies it in his garage, I shouldn't be mad at him.
You deserve it.
You deserve it. And the dude that's copying it, whoever, it don't give a fuck. It doesn't matter. It's a blank face. It doesn't matter. That is not that person. That is the market. See, there's a reason patents exist. There's a reason that whole process exists, because if you have actual intellectual property, if you have actually invented something that is unique, you can do this thing wild sale, but it's called patenting it. And then at that moment, you can say, that's our valve. So you can take your po-ass to Alibaba and buy some Alibaba valves, and you can 3D print, or you can print a sticker and put it on there and say, these are our valves. You lying to yourself. Because the problem with that is everybody else can go do that too.
Yep.
And if that's how you want to play it, I'm not saying that it ain't a play that you could run.
Sure.
I'm just saying it's a dumb play. I'm just saying, if you're going to run that play, you can't sit around bitch, piss, moan. Everybody copies my pump. Okay. You didn't make a fucking pump. That's why. What on there did you make? The sticker? See, that's what that is. That is the universe. That is the market talking back to you. That's what it actually is. The market is talking back to you, because within one business quarter, there were multiple carbon copies out there, not for $6,500 or $8,500, but showing you how to build it for $2,500. Why? We called it in our own private conversation. I'm like, well, you dumbass, that shit's in the catalog. So what are you doing? If you want, here's what you could do. Now I'm going to give you a nugget. If you're smart, you'll take, but you're not, so it don't matter. If you do something dumb like that, and you get pissy because you get copied, right? You take all that, you absorb it, and you figure out how to not let that happen again. If you're out there washing and somebody copies you, or you feel like that's what's happening, right? They just copying me. It could be true. What are you going to do? You're going to get so good, you're going to go to a place with the machete that they ain't willing to fucking go.
Correct.
That's how you win.
Moats
if you don't like me, I don't like people following me, baby. It's moats and caimans and a hedgerow of kudzu about 2 miles thick with a moat and full of caimans, right? You can follow me, but you gotta have deep pockets to follow me. Because we just keep doubling down. We keep doubling down, and we're not going to release it until it is the most. Why do you think that damn thing sprays 16 gallons a minute? Why? Just a random number? No, because everything else that's past that is too much chemical, and anything below that, see, ain't going to be enough. I can articulate, especially if you got that little knob on the top, how this is the sweet spot, the sweet 16, if you will. Saying throw out no damn 9 gallon a minute pump in a rotisserie box and tell you this is amazing pump. Look at this. Look at it. Get the fuck out of here, man. You try to sell a Ronco damn chicken cooker out here for $3,000. Get the hell on out. That's the market telling you something. So guys, take a page out of that. Do the hard thing. If you want to, I see guys in landscape and lawn care, right? They're always real pissy about competition, because any high schooler with a damn push mower is their competition. And so the next thing would be a soft wash guy, and they're much less competition, but there is competition. If you don't like competition, go be a neurosurgeon. Name any of them. But see, that's real hard to get there.
That's hard to do that.
What you're trying to do is you're trying to go push mower effort and neurosurgeon caimans.
Yeah, can't do that. The market herds all that. Look, I mean, even Cody saying some of those things, as far as talking about our product line and stuff like that. By the time anybody catches up, we'll be long gone anyway. So
they ain't nobody here.
You better start working today, because there's already other stuff in the works. We've already got a lot in the tank, so
we can keep something in the tank, man.
We'll keep a lot in the tank, because there's a lot more in the tank than there is out. Okay, you know.
Should really
But
do that. Like, if you're in your local market and you're running, what's up, Dan Wright? I was just down there in your neighborhood, bro.
Hoff Power, Wu Ten, what's up, dogs?
If your goal is to run one truck, you and a helper, make 250 grand a year, you just got to figure that much out. And if you don't want anybody coming in nosing around, right, then you got, here's how that would look for you, because you're not inventing a product, right? So let's bring it down, make it tactical for the guy in the truck. What would you do? You would get them Google reviews so strong.
Shit, every breathing soul.
So that if a dude pops up, he's looking at
a mountain,
Mount Vesuvius of social. You'd start a Facebook page and you'd get every mom. I'm talking about, because the wash job's going to be the same, right?
Right.
See, a lot of guys would put a lot of effort into the wash job.
Right. The
They
rent,
do extra
rinse for an hour and a half.
Like nobody gives a shit about that.
I'm still rinsing over here.
Y'all, that dinner looks good. What's gonna be a little more rinsing, and we'll be out. Don't do that, okay?
Don't do that.
Don't do this. Don't get way too into the weeds on your equipment. Get what works, okay? I sell equipment, but that ain't what you're here to talk about. You're going to talk about, you're going to put all your focus on the marketing side of the house and get your website. I'm talking about tight, looking right. You get a footbridge site, you're looking right. Am I wrong?
You right on.
Because these are all the things your competitors ain't going to do. You're going to rank. You're going to be at the top. You're going to do all the shit that, they can come and get a washer and they can actually clean the driveway the same as you.
Correct.
But see, they can't do all this other stuff. And that's the stuff we talk about at Serious Starter.
It's the intangibles. Some of it is tactical, very tactical, what to do when. But a lot of it is almost the intangibles. Why Cody and I are so close is because we're two experts who do different things, but we're basically the same dude. But we're both experts at different shit. That's why it works. Is because if Cody was a marketing expert, which he's actually very good at marketing, I know
could do it.
He's actually very good at it in a lot of ways. But as far as the tactical stuff, as far as the code type stuff, the website site stuff, that's more my forte. But as far as running a company and delegation and doing all these things that I don't have, nor do I want to do, he is an amazing expert as far as being a CEO and figuring out the overarching big picture of where the direction and where the ship needs to go. So, finding people, find a Cody to your Aaron, right? Do that in your area. Find someone who has the same mentality. It doesn't matter if they're in your business. I would hope they weren't in pressure washing. Yep. Maybe they're in HVAC, but they're just an animal. HVAC, like you, dude. Like he's like, no, dude, I'm taking over, bro. And it's just somebody that you can go smoke cigars with and talk shit with, right? And have a great time and laugh and scheme and plot and do the things that successful guys do. I mean, Cody and I, bro, I'm gonna tell you, we smoked 2 cigars. Hey, there's gonna be about another $500 to $1 million coming out of that session. It might get put in the queue, but it's happened many, many, many times.
That's the Sith rule of 2, baby.
That's the Sith rule of 2.
Rule of 2. You gotta have 2. You're one out there by yourself. You don't know if you ain't got nobody to bounce nothing off of. And it don't need to be a guy with the same skill set as you. Like you said, it needs to be, if you got a partner in business, it needs to be somebody that's different, has different skills and abilities, because you'll overlap in a good way. And you'll keep everything moving generally the right direction. Gonna be a lot of dark side. I'll give you an example in the chat. Pristine Terra pressure washing just asked, sorry if you hate the question or already talked about it, but any update on Super 8s? I will not give you no, I'm just kidding. I actually don't hate the question, but Pristine Terra, I'm sure you probably got one on order. A lot of people do. And you have probably noticed by your lingo there that I do not respond to questions, and I delete them on my channel. I delete them. And
why did you do that though? Why did you do that?
Because I told you I wasn't going to.
That's right. You
At
gave
the
your
moment
word.
of sale, I said, "This is a pre-order. We're working on them. Here it is. If you want to get in on the pre-order, be my damn guest. If you don't, they'll be in stock at some point. You can buy a damn thing then." And I told everybody, because it's a mandatory pop-up that you have to click past. Now, on a personal level, if I know you or if we're in a little chat like this on live, yeah, I'll give you an update. But on principle, because we've gotten hundreds of phone calls and email, "Where's my Super 8 pump?" Well, golf. I could give them an update. It'd be easier to give them an update and just tell them kind of where, "Oh, yeah, we're waiting on that." Oh, you can go to hell.
But
I
that
will not.
was the boundary set at the
Was
beginning
right there.
of the sale and in the
Yep.
terms and conditions, and you had
Yep.
said it. I mean, we took notes on how many times you said it because we knew what
Yeah.
people would
And
do.
I'm not saying pristine is.
No, he's not.
I'm
No,
just
yeah,
saying this is
no.
an example. But I will go ahead. I say all that to you. I will give you the update. So we should have our motors probably in the next couple of days. They could have came today, but I didn't go up there because we didn't get home in time. So they're going to be at the shop in the next couple of days, and we have 250 on one pallet, and all of those are gone. So we got to build all those up. The good thing is they build really fast. They're not speed controls, and so they're easy to build. So the plan is to get all of them. As long as I don't run out of some other little doodad part in there, I don't think I should. All the other little parts are like stateside, easy to grab stuff I can get real simple. So the plan is to have pretty much all pre-orders caught up on those by the end of September, and then have Super 8s on the shelf in stock and inventory. So yes, they are. But I have avoided the question for a couple of months now because these things take time. We're not building, and I know you probably know this, and I do appreciate you, and I know your spirit of questioning, and that's totally, I don't mind it at all. It's just that 99% of people that ask with an attitude, and like they, hell, I wish if people wasn't a certain way, I wouldn't have to do all that. Like,
I know, dude. I know.
it's silly, guys could be like this, and hell, I'd give you an update,
Well,
but
it's like, why did we write it that way? Right.
because I know how
Because we
everybody
knew exactly. It's
right.
like we didn't put that language. I mean, it says don't send smoke signals, don't send
Carrier
pigeons,
don't call, don't email. Yeah, it has to say that because they'll blow your inbox up and keep your receptionist on the phone because they feel entitled when so we always really overstate, like, hey, listen now, damn it, because we're spooling up major manufacturing, and this is not like building a couple in the garage out here. We're building thousands. We've already shipped nearly like 500 pumps. So you're talking about, and that's like, it ain't even off the ground yet. It's just getting going. So we've got 15,000 batch busters in the field, like manifolds. Okay. Manifolds. There's 3 on every one. All right. So there's 50,000, almost 50,000 batch buster valves in the field. We ain't carving them out of balsa, so we're a major manufacturer when it comes to our industry. We don't, I can tell you how many tall reach tips are in the field, but to manufacture those things, thousands. So we had the same thing when we launched the tall reach tips, and the pre-order for this was years ago, and the tall reach tip is like a little accessory. So we don't think of it much. It's
right,
a great accessory, but it's in the scheme of things, it's like a thing, We did a pre-order and we had them already on the way, and guys were like, "Where's my fucking tip?" Like, it's coming. It's only
I've got jobs to do.
God damn it. And we were like, bro, it's only been 4 weeks. Like, the whole thing, I think, was 6 weeks, and they were having a conniption. So ever since then, that was our first item we ever did on pre-order. We're always like, if we do a pre-order at all, we overstate that you ain't going to get it right now. It's going to take some time, and don't bother me about it. It's just, we just have to be that way because the average dude's running on a buy it, use it, take it back to Tractor Supply mindset and commit a little larceny right here on way to Wednesday night church. I'm gonna do a little larceny, baby. I hold on a minute. Now that smell like bleach to you. You don't smell no bleach in there, do you? Oh, I think it'll pass. Take it back in and return it. So they're always trying to weasel around. We've had 2 guys try to send us letters from their lawyers about their super pump, the big one. I didn't get my pump. This is fraud. And then when I reach out to their lawyer through our lawyer and say, well, here's a screenshot of what they agreed to, it just goes real quiet after that. It's how many chargebacks we win? Ain't never lost one. I ain't never had lost one.
Why? Because you're very clear and concise.
Keep receipts.
I'm gonna tell you, you deal with Southeast Iowa. You may not like how it sounds, but it's gonna be on the level. Okay, It's gonna be the truth. That's the modus operandi, and I think that's another reason why we gel. We'll just say the damn thing. It may not sound right, but when it comes to business, guys, I mean, a lot of dudes live in this fairy tale land. They're unwilling to look at the truth of their business and work with that negative energy and go change it, go make something happen. So we've taken all of these things, guys. We have channels, right? So we take a lot of info in on our channels and comments and emails and all this stimulus and data. And Cody probably tell you, I could what he do in Jurassic Park, take a DNA sample. I could make a pressure washer avatar out of a solidified bit of amber.
He spared no
shooter tip. Spared no expense.
This is one big pile of shit.
So we know how the market thinks. We know what they fear. We know what they love. We know, pretty tight. Okay. So that's why you have to be that way and kind of put moats and caimans and be just very clear, very concise. I don't care how you feel. You don't have to buy it, but if you do buy it, this is the terms and conditions. This is what's going to happen, and you will get it. Believe me, we want to get it to you.
We're pretty much. We still got a few pre-orders of the big pump to fulfill, but they're all real recent purchases. And we've got some more parts coming in. So those will be going out. That's all but to where I can say it's caught up and in stock. It's just right there at it. And then the Super 8s they're easier to build. So they'll go real fast. This is the year of getting everything in motion and spooling up a major product line. So, and I get, I do not look at Facebook anymore. I need to, but it's full of negative energy. I don't look at YouTube comments hardly. And I had to for years, for like 5 going on 6 years, dude. I built the company. Well, ain't nobody else going to look at the Facebook.
No.
Nobody else going to help me make a video. Wasn't nobody else going to do shit. All right. So if we're going to do it, I got to fucking do it, which means my dinner at night was not fun. Because I'm eating and I'm trying to make sure ain't nobody talking crap about us and running interference over here and checking this email and calling this guy back at 7:30 at night because he's in California and his rig don't spray. It turns out he had an empty tank. All that shit, just all that never ended. But now I'm at the point where I don't have to participate in the negativity of why. I have this question: why ain't y'all on all the power washing groups? On fuck them groups. I be on them damn groups. Well, you try. I ain't need to be on there schlepping nothing. I'm rich. I ain't be on the damn group. What the hell are you talking about, right? From their perspective, it's like you should be on there. Guys they talk shit about y'all all the time on there.
Good.
I don't care.
If they knew it was orchestrated, they'd be real pissed.
I don't care. But see, I could just get real granular about that and responding to every comment. I don't give the first damn. I just don't care. And it's still, I'm being honest, it's still not personal to that guy making that comment. I don't even look at it as a person. I just see it as static in the ether. I'm just tuned into the market, right? We already know there's going to be guys that get pumps and kill them. How do I know that? Because every 12 volt, 7 gallon minute, 5 gallon minute, fat boy, 10 gallon a minute, All of the diaphragm electric pumps that have ever been built that were not built in the last year are currently dead because they are consumable. But here's what I know is going to happen. Somebody's going to buy one, tear it up, and they're going to say, well, these pumps have problems. And I'm going to say, go to hell. I don't care about that. It doesn't even register to me as a data point. Okay. That's not data. You think it's data. That person would think that that's data. Yeah, I bought one. It died in 3 months. So what are you going to do with catch out? I've been running the same pump. And it's a Remco. It ain't mine. It's Remco. Been running it for over a year. So you can't use any of that as data. That's just static, and that's dark energy that I can't use. But the actual negative energy that's real shit, now we'll go grab that. We'll do something about it. Well, if there's a problem, we'll fix the problem, right? If there was to be something. Ain't going to be, because we done all that for the last 2. That's why the project took so long.
They don't get
if
to
I
see
just
the
get out the door, then I'd have cut a year off the time frame, about $650,000 off the R&D budget, and I'd have had a product to market faster, but I would have known to anticipate a lot more problems, right? And getting it back and having to fix shit on the go for the first season. Like a lot of companies do that. We don't do that. We don't do that. That's why that shit takes longer, because we're not going to put it out the door and then fix it, as you're running. Pristine Terra Wash says, care to talk about why you decided not to go with the weird auto shutoff thing on that the Northern has? First day on his job, the red light of death came on. It's super aggravating, bro. If you need to bypass that, we have a video on the tech support tab of the website that's easy to do. I think I have an updated one that I put up about a month ago. It's like literally a 5-minute procedure to electronically bypass that in your Northern tool pump. The reason we didn't do that is because it's dumb. It's what they're trying to do is detect a leak between the pump head and the motor with that sensor. There's a little 2 prongs in there, and it will shut the pump. It's doing its job. It'll shut the pump off and save the motor. That's why it's called Motor Shield. Way too finicky. We could have implemented something like that that would have worked right, but guys don't care about that. They just want the damn thing to run, right? You just want it to run, and then head kits so that you can change out your head kits when you need to. But yeah, there is a very easy workaround to get rid of that. Some engineer, here's what happened. Some engineer at Northern that ain't got laid in a long time. He thought that was a cool idea. And the problem is he ain't ever been out in the field. All right.
Yeah.
He eat a lot of cream cheese and chive crackers looking ass. Ain't been out in the field. Texas Instruments looking ass. Ain't been out in the field. See, he don't know how frustrating that shit is, because they ain't got a guy at Northern that's like washed for 6 years and they run it by him named Chip. Okay. They don't have Chip. Hey, Chip, we just working on this fucking poem. Here's what you talk about it. And then Chip would say, well, that's pretty good, but that's bullshit. You don't want to do that. So they don't have that guy. So they just sing songs into the night, and they hope that some of them aspire to be hits. That's what they do. We don't do that, right? Because I am in fact a god, a demigod, but still counts. I know what you don't want, because I wouldn't want that shit. I just need it to spray, right? So, yeah, I had another comment I want to. Yeah, let's see. Dale Austin's in the chat. You remember Dale? He was at Sirius. Yeah, he's crushing it.
Yeah, good dude.
Yep. You can make any pump run a long, long time if you're like really, really, really diligent about it, flushing it out. I've killed pumps in a week. We had a guy send a super pump back. You can't send a super pump back, okay, later, but we do make exceptions sometimes. Mostly it's because the dude was pissing and moaning, and I wanted to see the pump. We video every single pump that we ship out. We serialize it, we video it, and we archive it on that tab right there on every look. Hold on. From the
say that one more time. What you just said.
Every pump that leaves the building gets video recorded. It's about a minute and a half it takes to video record every pump, serialized. And we show it running. stopping off correctly, no leaks, and the distance test that it's hitting, stop it off a few times, about a minute 20, minute 30. And there is a lot of that footage in this little tab of software that we keep archives. So when they get their pump and they say, my pump, it never did run, I can say, bullshit.
Hold on real quick.
Bullshit. It's very easy to do, and it's linked to your customer name. So all that's extra work. See, that's a Cayman.
That's a Cayman.
That's a big, good Cayman.
That's a good Cayman.
That's a good Cayman.
Good Cayman.
And he said, it don't work. Hell, it ain't never worked. I said, well, I'm looking at the footage right here. We're spraying the day we boxed it up, sent it to you. Serial number, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, serial number, blah, blah. I said, well, hell, I'm going to make an exception to the rule, send it back. We'll take a look at it for you. Now, in the very near future, we ain't going to keep doing that because it's a waste of time. And I know what the guy did because I've done it. Not with a super pump, but I've done it with pumps before. You get done with the job, you rinse your pump out, right? Now, super pump, you rinse the house with it because it's strong enough. And you get on, you roll your shit up, you get your ladder, and you go back to the truck for that. You walking back to the truck to leave. Nothing's running. The pump's off. And you get in the truck and you leave and you go home. And you park it. And the switch is still on because there's nothing in the moment that tells you to kill that switch, right? You just got to know that. That's a little thing there, see? And if overnight, if you got a little leak in your outbound system, any of the outbound plumbing, you got a little leak in your plumbing, just a seepage, any of the connections, the hose reel, the swivel, the outbound, the gun, if it's dripping and it drips enough, I mean, it could be a drip an hour, but eventually it's going to drip past the point where that pressure switch reactivates and it's going to run all night. I've come back to the truck more times than I would like to admit the next morning, and I hear it. God, and he cooked the pump. So that's what happened. The guy let the pump run. But guys are never going to say in the YouTube comments, yeah, I forgot to cut the switch off. Damn, I let it run all night by mistake and it overheated and it's just churning on itself. So it builds up a bunch of extra heat. And I cooked the damn thing and I just need a rebuild or need a head kit. You're welcome. Need a head kit. I said, look right up in here. It's preaching time. You're welcome on the head kit. And they ain't going to say all that. They're going to say, these pumps are shit. These pumps are gone. What old dude say the other day you banned him from the group? I see a lot of people selling those pumps. Well, fuck me. I see a lot of people selling iPhones. I see a lot of people selling Chevrolets. I see a lot of people selling chicken. You tell me the chicken wasn't no good? No, you thinking you're shooting at me. Do you not?
Cody, I just thought of this. Are we Big Wash?
We're actually bigwash.com.
Are we Big Wash?
Dude told me that he goes, you must be paid off by Big Ox Knox.
He's paid by Big Ox.
Like it's Big Pharma, it's like they sold out to Big Ox. Like it's fucking Big Enos from the damn smoking.
Big Enos' word is gold.
No, it's so funny. They're gonna shoot at you, man. And you just gotta
let them shoot. I'm gonna tell you, the day you get okay with people shooting at you is the day your life changes for the better. I'm gonna tell you, they do more selling and publicity. Right. You can't purchase publicity that good. They ought to take a page out of Donald Trump's book. Most of the guys who shit on us, they do like Donald Trump. They're blue collar guys, they're Republican guys. Been Republican longer than me for sure. That's an inside joke. But it's like, take a page out of that, dude. As long as you keep your T's crossed and your I's dotted, it don't matter. It never sticks. And as long as you're innovating, you can't catch us. You can't catch that.
Yeah. How do you know that?
Shoot at it, but it ain't gonna stick. That's a big woolly mammoth. He got a lot of spears in him, and he's still rolling.
Level 4 plates available now for sale,
bro.
How do you know if it's negative energy, like good feedback that's negative that you need to work off of, right? Or if it's horseshit. If it's Miss Karen complaining because she's dumb.
Well,
How do you
one of the metrics I think, as far as your business, goes at Southeast, is you guys maintain, and this is a testament to you, Brian, the shipping department. Y'all maintain a 99.7% accuracy rate on orders, right? Like, really focusing on a metric that matters, right? Did the customer get out in the policy time of shipping window? Did that package leave, and was it accurate when it left? Now, all you can control is, does the package leave on time and is it accurate? What UPS does to the package, you can't control that, or how long they take. But I think focusing on a metric that you can control and a metric that matters, uh, and being willing to own that piece, but not being willing to completely own the other pieces. Like, if I can't control it, I can't do anything about it. Now that opens the door for you to be able to, help people out in tough situations. And, if it's a UPS thing, you file a claim and you get them their product out next day. You know what I mean? And we do that a lot.
right?
But it's like,
And it doesn't mean that you change anything internally because nothing's
correct.
broke.
Nothing's
If
broke.
you just listen to the chatter, see, the chatter's telling you something's broke. You got to
Right.
have enough sense to know when that's usable dark side energy, which you got something negative that's true and you need to fix, or if it's bullshit and you just need to throw that out with baby and the bathwater goes out. You do what you can for the customer within reason, do what's right. Like, there's no objective right. I mean, I'm sorry, there is an objective right. There's no his truth and my truth. There's just truth.
Right. That's it.
And we used to get this call, I just picked my skid up and I've had it about 2 months and that thing ain't never run right. And I say, okay, timeout, pause. That's why I implemented this about 3 years ago. I'm going to hit you with a timeout right here. We're going to look in here at your pickup. You signed with a photocopy of your driver's license that we make and hand back to you, of you signing a document that says it is what I ordered and is working correctly when I left here. Now, you pull over and run it if you want to. If you want one of our guys to go run it with you and show you how everything, not a problem at all. I would advise it. 99% of guys don't do that. So I got a video of us building it, a completion video where we walk around, look at everything. I got a signature when you picked it up, right? So that's not negative energy. That's bullshit. But it could be negative energy if I'm getting enough of those and I don't have a way to verify it. That means I need to implement a system. We had a dumbass 2 weeks ago. I'm talking about a dumbass. He's somewhere in like Midwest. Bought a Gen 2 skid. We were running a sale into the season. We were running a sale on Gen 2s with a 5 gallon a minute pressure washer and a super pump on them. Just a real basic Gen 2 skid, but still damn nice skid, right? Off it goes. We shipped it to him. So he didn't physically come here because he lives pretty far away. He paid for the shipping. We shipped it. We video when we build it. We video the invoice in the footage. We show this hanging on a tag. We show that. We show the build, walk around. He gets his skid. We show it when we ship it. We show it loading up. So, in case the carrier damages it, we got a record there.
Right.
Off it goes. Calls back, fussing at Jonathan the next week when he got it. And this man said, y'all sitting down? He said, where's my other soft wash system at on this thing? What are you talking about? It's got the super pump on there. It's supposed to have 2 soft wash systems. Well, pull your invoice up. No, this is what you got right here. Here's your invoice that you have a copy of that you signed. Here's your purchase agreement that line items out the build, line itemed out in detail, purchase agreement that you signed, paid invoice with line items, purchase agreement that you signed, again, equipment line itemed out. This man said, well, a Gen 2 is supposed to have 2. It's in the name, Jonathan. He has went so far as to telling the manufacturer what their nomenclature means. He is conjuring a flea, conjuring up a fucking flea. And so with that amount of silliness, what you say is, go to hell. They ain't nothing fixed out here, bro. We over here at the shop all day. They ain't nothing broke at the shop. See, I need to be able to identify that. And if something was broke, I could hold somebody accountable. I could say, we need to change this. This is obviously something we need to do a little better. But I know the difference. I know the difference because I walked around the house and I had the customer sign a contract. All right. I've been in. We'll talk about that later. But I've done my due diligence. I've taken my photos. I've communicated with the customer. I've set it up, right, so that I have a filter to know if this is dark side feedback energy that I need to run with, or if it's just because there's a lot of horse shit. And you don't want to have to, you do not need to react every time somebody says something negative. Most of that's going to be a bunch of bull crap.
Yeah, we don't. I'm gonna tell you, if you did, it would be all that. You know what I mean? It's like 99% of everybody's great, but as you guys know, you're out in the field. You're gonna if you're moving real weight, you know, if you're moving and you're doing real amounts of jobs, you know, the bad apples come sooner because you're doing a lot. You're moving a lot of stuff, right? So it's I think I'm grateful that you have those systems in place and that, you know, it's all necessity. Necessity is the mother of all invention. You see, it's like you saw it and you said, no, we're not going to do that again. We're going to implement this system, and everything has to run through that system. The throughput has to go through that system. Otherwise it cannot leave, you see? So I think that's pretty genius, dude. It's unfortunate you have to do that, but you do.
It'll hurt your feelings, guys, when you're new, because, you know, you get into it and you might be excited and you're going to get the negative energy, but don't let it take the wind out of your sails.
Totally.
The point of this whole video is you've got to learn to feed off of it. And I don't mean to just get pissed and not do anything. Like, let it make you make the appropriate changes. Let it make you tweak the course of action. Let it make you become resilient and tempered. You're like that knife that some of these knives I got are hundreds of dollars, but they temper them so where they're so hard. You know, you drop one of these on the ground, it don't do shit to that hinderer. It don't know. Nothing happened because it's so tough. It's been hardened by the fire. So don't, you know, I had a lot of that because I tried to do everything with excellence, and I was getting people like negative, and I was like, damn, I don't know how to do it no better than that, you know? And it's just like, well, that's just dark side energy. I can use that. It's positive sometimes. That's great. Those are the high moments. Or it's bullshit. And if it's bullshit, it goes through the filter and we don't worry about that.
Yep. Guys, thanks for tuning in tonight. We're going to wrap it up.
Sure.
Don't be afraid of the dark side energy, man. Embrace it. If it's something real, something true, you need to make a change, then do so. You merely embrace the dark. I was born.
Yes. No, that's Bane. I'm talking about dude Darth Vader.
Oh, you're doing Good night. Good night, fellas. Hey, series starter September 20th and 21st. There should be a link somewhere close by. I'll see a lot of you guys there. All right.
Peace out.